Hello, in this video we're going to be talking about how to reparent yourself, how to heal your inner child through reparenting. And I'm going to explain to you what this means, how you can really get yourself out of these old patterns of your past, things that you went through in your childhood, really overcome your traumas of the past through your childhood specifically, and bring you some new awarenesses and tools that will really help you feel more connected to yourself and become closer to who you really want to be in your life. Before I get into it, my name is Grace. I specialize in trauma healing and subconscious reprogramming through my transformative healing techniques that I share with you in my, there go my potatoes again. If you guys know, I love potatoes and I'm cooking potatoes in my videos. I specialize in trauma healing and subconscious reprogramming, and I teach you this through my transformative healing techniques that I share in my one-on-one coaching programs and also my special offers. I have a couple of offers below, and I will get into more about the one-on-one coaching program as this video goes along. So please like and subscribe and comment below how this resonates with you, if this supports you. And I'm a note taker. I'm going to be looking down a lot, but only because if I don't, I literally will go all over the place and I won't remember what I wanted to say, and I want to make sure that I'm really specific with my words and the tools, and that it's very precise so that you understand, you can implement them in your life, because I'm a no bullshitter, and anyone who works with me knows that I'm not here to waste your time. I'm really here to facilitate the transformation that you're really wanting to seek, because I know that you're here because you've done some inner healing work, you haven't received the life-changing results that you really want, but you know deep down your soul is calling you into more. You feel called into something more in life. You want to feel on purpose, you want to feel free. And so my intention for my videos is to really help you feel free in yourself, connected, grounded, solid, where you don't care about what anyone else thinks about you. So with all of that said, let's get into the meat and potatoes, if you know what I'm saying, because my potatoes are waiting for me. So first thing, obviously we probably already know this, but we're gonna go over it. Childhood wounds impact you more than you realize. I apologize about the lighting right now, it's really dark, but they really impact you more than you realize. And more importantly, your parents, the voices of your parents impact you more than you realize. You are still carrying the programs, the stories that your parents told you, whether that was out loud or even if it was just something that you felt subtly. A lot of times we don't even need, when you're intuitive, when you're an empath, and I'm sure that if you resonate with my energy, then you are also an empath. We pick up on subtle energies. We pick up on what our parents think about us, what they feel about us, what they want us to be and do, which really forms our personality, our perception of ourselves, what we believe is possible. And so for you to feel purposeful, like truly living in your purpose and really feeling good and in love with yourself in your life, you need to unravel the stories of your past. And we need to start, or a good place to start or dive into, is the voices of your parents. So how do we do this? So, these voices, they do keep you stuck in unhealthy patterns with yourself and in your relationships, and you keep attracting the same type of relationships that mirror these patterns. So it not only impacts your relationship with yourself, these childhood wounds, but also with everyone around you and your career and your money and everything. And so it's very deep. When we are impacted in one way in our lives, like in one area of our lives, it impacts, something that impacts one area of our lives also impacts all areas of our lives. So it's important to see what the common denominators are. What are those subconscious beliefs? What are those subconscious traumas, all right? So that's what I'm here to help you with. There is nothing wrong with you, okay? but you just need to understand what's holding you back so that you're able to come back to your power, to what you can actually change, and so that you can really free yourself and feel how you want to feel. That's all based on you doing your inner work, you showing up for yourself, you being ready and saying yes to yourself and not caring about what anybody else thinks because you want to feel so good in yourself, right? That's the point. So, yes, we need to get you from where you are to where you want to be. And so what I'm about to share with you will help you do that. So first, what we need to do is we need to identify the emotional wounds. So first step, identify. And a great way to do this is, what did your mom or dad used to say about you or to you that infiltrates your mind or perspectives today? Maybe your dad was always, pushing you to be more, pushing you to do more, or judging you. And so that would impact the way that you viewed yourself, that you needed to always work harder, that you needed to be better. And so that voice isn't actually who you are. When you're super hard on yourself, the tip is to ask yourself, whose voice is this really? When you're running up against your negative thoughts, your self-limitations, ask yourself, whose voice is this really? Does this feel like who I really am? You're gonna know, you're gonna feel the discord between your voice and what's not you, because it's a limitation. It's already a limitation. If your inner voice feels bad or restrictive to you, then it's not who you really are. I know that there is such thing as tough love, and that's what I'm here to share with you and give you tough love and tell you it like it is, so that you don't run around in your old patterns and living in a life where you feel like you're stuck in pain or stuck in the past or, disconnected from yourself. That's good. But when you are feeling like constricted by your inner voice, that's not you. So is it mom? Is it dad? First, we got to identify that. Number 2, do I want it to be true? Do I want this to be true? So whose voice is this, and do I want it to be true? Yes or no? Does it feel life-giving, or does it feel life-taking? Does it feel like it's bringing me closer to my soul's purpose, closer to who and where I really want to be? Or is it bringing me into self-hate, into a feeling of embarrassment, or feeling ashamed of yourself, or feeling like you're never gonna have what it takes? Because if you're feeling like you're never gonna have what it takes, we're sitting on a wound underneath that really, really needs to be identified. So how do those voices make you feel? What does it make you feel? And it really helps you to get into, that, really identify that, because I know it might sound kind of heady, and some of the tools that I share might sound heady, but there's a reason why. Because if you understand what's going on in your mind, in your body, with your traumas, you are now in a place of the observer. You can observe it. You can learn about yourself. You can repattern, reprogram yourself from a space of self-awareness, because you've already identified what you're not, who you're not, what voices you're not, what traumas you're not, and with the process of the right tools, which is what I share with you in my one-on-one coaching program and all of my offers, my transformative healing techniques, when you have the right tools, you're able to remove those inner blocks, remove those inner wounds, remove those inner voices and critics and everything like that, so that you're able to connect in and really feel who you really are, all right? And that's the goal with all of the healing work, and I know you already know that. So this comes into changing the narrative. Once you understand how does this voice make you feel, and that you probably don't want that voice to be true, I know that I'm correct about that, we want to start reparenting. And if you don't know what reparenting is, I'm gonna briefly say, you're pretty much taking the way that your parents were not there for you, and were abusive or rude or diminished you, and you are finding those aspects in yourself and those beliefs that you're still carrying in yourself, and you are counteracting it. You are changing the narrative by reparenting yourself and telling yourself what you would have wanted to hear. Gives me goosebumps. Really showing up for yourself in those painful places, in those limiting beliefs, and loving yourself through them. So what does this look like in real time? I'm gonna tell you an example about this. But before I get into that, I'm going to announce that I do have my one-on-one coaching program. If you know that something is blocking you inside and you just don't know what it is, or you just don't know how to get rid of it, and you know the inner work is really important to you, and you want to feel free, and you want to have that life-changing transformation. Maybe you've had some growth in your personal development journey, but you haven't had that really big life-changing shift that you know deep down is possible, and you ache to feel, and you want to feel those soul-aligned relationships, that soul-aligned self-love, really loving yourself, really feeling grounded in yourself, really feeling powerful in yourself, and where your life around you reflects who you truly are and what you want to be, so that you stop caring so much about what everybody else thinks and what they think about your life, and you're not swayed by them because you are so sure about what you're meant to be doing and how you feel that you don't care, all right? Because you know the answer lies within. The answer lies within you. But it's just that when you have all of that that's blocking you, you're not gonna be able to access that, which is why I bridge the gap with you and for you through my one-on-one coaching programs, where you're able to eliminate your inner wounds, your inner blocks, and really find that sense of self and find that purpose that you really want to have. Because I was there too, and I know exactly how it feels, which is why I take you step by step to get to a place of deep freedom, personal growth, development, and I'm so grateful I get to share that. So you can book a consultation call completely free, pressure-free below. I also have a couple of offerings. I have my from people pleaser to self-empowerment, my masterclass teaching you how to get out of these shameful patterns, how to get out of, these self-limiting patterns and come into a place where you feel good in yourself, you feel strong in yourself. And then I also have my Self Love Accelerator that's teaching you how to establish boundaries with other people, how to really find out who you are and what you need and show up for that, creating routines and daily practices that really honor yourself so that you can feel that deep sense of self-love you want to experience. So both those offers are also below, but the one-on-one coaching program is what I suggest the most. So that is that, and now we're going to keep going. So back to it. Once we understand the narrative we don't want to carry anymore, we find the voices, we find the patterns, we find that shameful thought, shameful feeling that makes us feel like no matter what you're doing is not enough. Once we can hone in on that, we're able to shift it with a reparenting, loving voice. One that says like this, and I didn't give you my example, but that's why I take notes, because I would have just gone off on another tangent. Thank you, Gracie. So we need to change it to a more loving narrative. So I'm going to use myself as an example in this. When I was dealing with perfectionism, and this was about 3 years into my healing journey. I've been on this path for over 9 years now. I've worked with 1,500 plus one-on-one clients, teaching them how to heal and become who they're meant to be in this world and be in their soul's purpose. When I first started this, I had a lot of perfectionism, and I inherited that from my dad, okay, because he always had these expectations about me, and he didn't say them all the time, but he really wanted me to be something that I couldn't be. And I've always been this rebel. I've been very empathetic, and I've always wanted to do things my own way, because I'm like zero fucks given. I want to, be who I'm meant to be, and I don't want you to tell me anything about me. Okay, so that's just always how I've been. So when I had this perfectionism, what I noticed is it sounded like my dad inside of myself. So I'd be doing something throughout my day, and I would be like, you have to do it, you have to do that errand, or you have to do this better, or that's never good enough. And I would hold all of my art, because I also create music. I published a poetry book back in 2020 called The Key to Entirety, teaching you how to heal yourself and come into your soul's purpose as well. But when I was creating those things, I had such a high level of perfectionism inside of myself. And it really felt like it was holding me back, and it also made me cry. I would make myself cry about how much I expected of me. Like, you have to do better, you have to do better. So I said, you know what, fuck this voice. I need to change this narrative. So how I went about it was, I noticed the voice first. I would say, okay, that sounds like my dad. Here it is again telling me what to do. So I would notice it, and then I would say literally out loud to myself, actually, Gracie, you can take your time. Actually, Gracie, you are safe. Actually, Gracie, you're doing great. Look how much growth you've had. So I'm using a loving, motherly, how I identify with it is motherly. If you're a father, or not, if you're a man, maybe you could say like a fatherly voice, or maybe if you're specifically working with the father wound or a mother wound, you could take the stance of coming in with reparenting with that version of you. But you would say, use the loving voice that you needed to hear. Use the loving voice towards yourself, your self-limitations, the things you're trying to work on healing in yourself. Use a voice that is loving and nurturing to that aspect. So after about a few months of me catching the voice and then saying to it what I wanted to hear, what I needed to hear as a child, what I would have loved to hear, what it would have felt nurturing to me, it changed the story. And the loving voice became louder than the really rude voice. See what I mean? This created a self-loving relationship with myself. So that's what I'm trying to point you towards doing. Because there are so many layers to this onion of your subconscious and the way that you show up now. Your entire personality is built off of your past and what you were taught. I mean, really, I can say, unless if you've done enough personal growth to break out of those layers of the onion, then you are a sum of those things, what you were taught. So we need to figure out what is underneath those layers for you. What is your true voice? What are your true desires? How do you really want to feel? Who do you really want to be? And by stripping away those layers, using these tools and techniques that I share with you in all of my videos and also my one-on-one coaching programs, what you're able to do is feel yourself. Feel yourself, all right? Those voices create your perspectives, which create your choices, which creates your life, which creates your relationships. We need to break out of these old molds so that you feel free. You're never gonna feel free or good and fully grounded and in love with yourself if you are allowing all of these voices of other people to cloud your self-perception and keep you in this lack. You're not at lack. You have gifts and powers and things to share with this world that are literally needed, but the only way you're going to be able to access those gifts and layers of yourself, that true inner connection, that true voice of your intuition, that true knowing of yourself and your value, is through inner healing work. If you want to have those soul-aligned relationships, the perfect, career that feels so aligned for you, and that self-love, you need to do the inner healing work. You can't manifest your way out of feeling like shit. You have to do the layers. You have to release the layers. And so you'll understand, the more you do it, you'll understand what love feels like. The only thing that's keeping you out of love is these false things you believe about yourself. These aren't real. That's not who you are. That's not who you are. What your dad said is not who you are. What your mom thought is not who you are. What you had or didn't have in childhood isn't who you are. You are so much more than those things, but you need to be willing to look at yourself and release them and take the necessary action if you want to stop feeling stuck. And I gotta tell you it straight. If you want to, I know how it feels when it's like time is going by so fast and you're not making the progress you really want to have, and you felt stuck for so long and you don't want it to be the end of the year and you're still in the same place. You need to take radical action for yourself to free yourself from these patterns. All all right? You really need to. So by working on loving your patterns, loving the hateful voices, loving them, accepting yourself in them. If you can feel what I'm saying, let me know in the comments, okay? Because I'm trying to explain this the best I can. You will find peace. You will find a new level of yourself that you've never accessed. So let's start with that tool. I'm gonna leave that as the exercise for you. Please let me know if it helps. We just wanna continue doing things that will build that strong relationship with yourself in your life, all right? And so let me know how this resonated with you. I had one more point that I'm trying to remember and I didn't write it down. If you want to feel like you are in a purposeful life, all I would focus on is healing your subconscious wounds and traumas of your past. Why? Because when you're left with who you are through your healing work, purpose naturally emerges. Soul purpose naturally emerges. And you were born here with these gifts and skills that only you have. So it's your responsibility to show up for yourself so that you can share them with the world. This work is not a luxury, it's a necessity. You deserve to have the life that you really want, but you have to show up for it. So we need to remove the old emotions. And another thing is the emotions live in your body. So you need to learn how to release the emotions from your body, and your body is a reflection of your subconscious. So those are different topics. I just wanted to explain those to you. But like I said, if you really want to bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be and learn my transformative healing techniques to create a soul-aligned life where every area of your life is reflective of who you really are and you feel so solid and grounded in yourself and your purpose, that is what my one-on-one coaching programs are for. You can also check out my other offerings if you can't, if finances are an issue for you right now. There's so much jam-packed wisdom in those. So let me know how this was supportive for you. Please keep that voice of self-love going and notice yourself in your daily life. Where are you saying to yourself, I'm not good enough, or I'm never gonna have that, or I can't? Whose voice is that? What is the emotion of that? You need to heal that. Focus on changing that. Choose the voice that you want to run your life through awareness of what you don't want to run your life. All right? That's my tip for the day. I love you. Please like and subscribe. I'll be back here tomorrow. Bye.